what is, or who was, the worst Star Wars character? We put in Jar Jar,
Ray,
Anakin, or other.
Other, Ray. Ray's the worst Star Wars character that's ever been invented.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Rocky Students Podcast.
We're super excited about today. We're going to be playing some Fortnite with our guest, and we're also joined by Dom, who's a junior over at Frederick High School, so we're pumped to have him with us. If you guys don't know Dom, you all should get to know him. And Mike, this is your first time actually hosting.
Hold on. Sorry, Matt. Can we stop recording? I'm on the wrong cam.
No. Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
All right, so today, our guest has been killing it in the ministry space for years at churches like Elevation Church in North Carolina and City First Church in Rockford, Illinois. He's going to be calling Franklin, Tennessee home in what, 3 days?
Basically.
You're moving soon. And now he travels as a preacher and content creator while also streaming on Twitch to inspire the next generation of content creators to follow Jesus. And he's going to be a guest at SummerCon. But here's the deal. We always do this as our intro. ChatGPT saying this about Dom. Our guest is so legendary, even Master Chief is taking notes. He's sponsored exclusively by White Wife Beaters, we have on, and Divine Intervention. His gaming tagline might just be Jesus saves, but John Rush respawns. And his glasses help him see into your soul while he delivers altar calls between kill streaks. The only thing he carries harder than his team, and honestly me today, is the gospel. Welcome, John Rush, to the pod. We're glad you're here, dude. You're
got some good energy. Yeah.
You know, it was good energy. And I just told boys if I disappear, it's because I got to throw up. It's one of those days.
It's
family sick. You know, I got some out before here. So if I disappear, hopefully your day's going better than mine.
Yeah, no, it's going. It's definitely. I haven't thrown up today or wanted to throw up today. So
that's how it goes. Tell us a little about like moving. Rockford, no. You're going from North Carolina to Franklin, Tennessee?
Yeah, basically, what I've been telling people is I'm in my my content creator era. I just felt, the last 15 years felt exactly the thing my wife and I were supposed to do, is give our lives to the local church through being on staff there, interning, and don't regret a moment of it. And now a lot of the ideas that we have and where God's leading us is to kind of focus on content creation, travel and speak. I'm going to go to Bible college. I never got educated, and writing a book for parents and pastors. I refuse to write a book towards Gen Z and Gen Alpha who won't read it. So I just, I feel like Gen Z and Gen Alpha only read books by dead people. They don't really read books of people. Like if it's like a dead theologian, they'll be like, a dead historian. Yeah. But like modern folks, not so much. So that's the focus. I got family out in the Nashville area. And then we got a great church community that we're excited to be a part of. In Franklin, and just Franklin is it's kind of like new hub for creativity. Nashville and Franklin, certainly in the Christian space, but beyond. One of my role models, Theo Vaughn, lives out in Nashville, and I'm going to be stand-up is something that I'm going to be working on to kind of step into maybe a year from now. So going to be going to more stand-up clubs there. My business partner, one of my best friends, Taylor Ransom. Some of y'all might know him as the mega church security guard or the Chick-fil-A homeschooler, big content creator. He's there. Yeah, just so many people I'm excited to be near and create with and do life with.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Since Mike has joined the helping host now, he wants to know, we're going to add this in for every single guest. Mike, you want to ask?
I mean, I gotta know, man. Give me a little bit of your knowledge of Pokemon.
Dude,
are you deep? Are you?
I'm more of a Digimon guy.
In the 90s? You're a Digimon guy. Okay.
Yeah. Somehow, my mom thought that Pokemon were demonic, but not Digimon, and so she would burn my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and my Pokemon cards. But somehow I don't know why, but Digimon was okay. And the Digimon movie is a underrated like film of the 90s. So I really don't know too much about Pokemon. I'm not against it. Oh my gosh, I'm getting one pumped by Bruno Mars. But yeah, I don't know much. I did think that Pokemon Go was a super fun phenomena of life. But that's pretty much Pokemon Go. The first 2 weeks is as much as I know about Pokemon.
Dude, I'll tell you this: Digimon as a TV show was far better than Pokemon. But
really,
conceptually, in like the trading card game, I would say Pokemon's better. But Digimon, the show, is insane. It was so good.
Yeah.
I don't find many Digimon fans. We're playing builds. You guys are insane.
Nah,
Bills was amazing.
Matt just likes to watch the world burn.
here's the deal. I'm following Dom's lead because, dude, people were giving me crap the other day because I will help do like the broadcasting, but then when it comes to actual play Fortnite, I'm so bad, especially at builds.
Well, that's all
But
right.
Dom, you like builds, huh?
I love builds. I'm like actually semi-decent at builds. I just have not played Fortnite in a time.
He's got the sweat down.
Let's go. Well, I'll try my best. I won't crank 90s, but I can build ramps and hit my shots. So we'll be okay. I tell people my great skill, like when I preach places, they're like, yeah, we got a pro gamer, a pro Fortnite player. And every like kid in the room's like, oh, bet. And I'm like, no, boomer youth pastor. I'm not a pro gamer. I'm just really good at talking while I play Fortnite. That's my skill. I'm not the best at Fortnite. I just might be one of the best at talking about God while playing. This kid's really good right here, this Snoop Dogg. He's trying to finish me. I'm dead.
No. Okay, finally got a shotgun.
Dang.
I'll come save you guys.
Oh, that's why you've been running away from us the whole time, Dom.
Yeah,
cool,
because I don't. Oh my gosh, it's really good.
It's cool.
Oh, come in.
God. John, we're excited to have you out here for SummerCon.
Oh, I can't wait.
Lie. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good.
Oh yeah.
Dom,
I
were you
cannot
there
wait.
last year?
SummerCon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. It was actually
you-
super fun.
Dude, if anyone gives me an excuse that I'm working, I'll be like, do you know Dom? Dom and his brother showed up while they were working.
I had to
While
work
they were
towards the
working?
end. I remember I came
Jeez, dude.
to the church after like 8 o'clock or something.
Yeah,
I just was there for like an hour, like an hour and a half.
John, I know you've been working on maybe some stuff with Sweaty Saints, but what are some other things that you're excited about, or tell us more about Sweaty Saints? I'd love to learn.
Yeah, so, newsflash, I literally just got off FaceTime with Taylor, but we are actually, we're weeks away from launching this kind of nonprofit ministry content hub that we were going to call Sweaty Saints, but newsflash, we're going to change the name.
All right. Is it, do we know what it is yet?
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind telling people what we're probably going to call it because I'm all about the process. So Sweaty Saints we liked because it talks about like it's gamers know, Christians know. But one of the things as we really started to, and it'll make sense the more I talk about what it's going to be. Well, I'll tell you what it's going to be and I'll tell you why we changed the name. Basically, we just want to create a mechanism to fund Christian content creators more so in the entertainment space, live streaming, gaming, dancing, music, if they're like content creators. But we also want to do is we want to support churches and parents to help raise up the next generation of Gen Alpha content creators. Really answering the question, like, what if the next Mr. Beast knows Jesus? What if the next Kai Cenat comes from one of our youth ministries? Because most churches and certainly most parents like don't know what to do with a kid that says, I want to do YouTube. And even if they say yes, let's just be honest, pastors and parents are, most of them, not experts at content. So Taylor and I and others, we want to help go, man, what if Mr. Beast, when he was 11, had met a youth pastor who said, hey, I can teach you about Jesus and I'll support you, but I also want to introduce you to a group of people who will actually teach you how to be effective on YouTube. I'll give you character. These people will give you competency. And of course, also care about your character. And so that's what we want to do. We see ourselves going to youth groups and churches and in homes, really going like, hey, we want to help you. Like, we want to identify talent. Like, I see myself as like Nick Fury. I'm like, where are the Avengers? Like, we're gonna bring them together. We're gonna train them. We're gonna deploy them, and we're gonna freaking dominate the internet. Like, we're gonna win. Like, we're not just gonna be like, because what I feel like the internet is full of is, or not full of, but it's little 4-piece really quick right here as I'm preaching the word. Squad wipe. I think they were bots, so
I did hit
we're
him
good.
By the way, just wanted
Let's
to
go.
let you know.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I'm helping.
Let's go. What I really want to have happen is, Christians recently have gotten pretty good at like worship artists, and preachers have YouTubes and stuff like that. Even people like my friend Ruslan like are kind of like doing like React Christian, like kind of like culture content. But it's like, who, in terms of the entertainment space, who's out there? We want sanctified brain rot. We want to compete with like PewDiePie and Mr. Beast and Kai and Speed. Nope. And, instead of seeing girls, be OnlyFans content creators, we want to see only faith content creators. Can I get an amen? Hallelujah. Oh, amen. And so honestly, and I have 2 daughters, and so that's a big deal to me. So I'm like, I want them to see role models who like, what if my daughter doesn't want to be a pastor or a worship leader, but wants to like create content? Who does she look to in the Christian world? Yeah. We want to branch out. We really want to win where people are watching. So video games and all that stuff. And so the name Sweaty Saints, honestly, we just kind of had this realization just. Honestly, as of this recording, it was yesterday, where we're like, do girls want to be identified as sweaty? And does sweaty kind of like pinhole us too much in gaming? We want to be rooted in gaming, but we don't want to be like just stuck there. We really just want to, anywhere that people are watching content, live streaming, TikTok, YouTube, we really want to unleash Christians in the content space. So right now, what we're thinking of is Mana Creators Club. Nice. And so Mana is obviously for those who are familiar, but not obvious if you haven't gotten to that part in the Bible or haven't read your Bible at all. But it's a part of God's kind of like magic provision for people in the wilderness. He rained food like pastries along with quail from heaven to feed his people. So it talks about God's provision. And then in gaming lore, and kind of like Dungeons and Dragon, World of Warcraft, more game. Mana represents like the magic power available for, like wizard type stuff. And so we feel like,
man.
Yeah. So we feel like it hits a name like that, but that's what we're leaning toward. Hits more of the realm of like, it has a broader appeal while certainly staying to our roots.
Yeah.
So y'all can give me your thoughts. You can say whether it's an L.
Oh, I like it.
Nah, dude. I don't think so, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. I think there's actually so much value to that. I've loved that quote that you've had of like, dude, what if the next Mr. Beast or huge content creator loved Jesus? The vision there is so awesome. So I'm here for it. I think that's like what we try to do somewhat here at the local setting is, we have a student leadership team called the Influencer Team, and we're like, whether you got 2 friends, 1 friend, 100 friends, that's influence right there. And so Dom's on that team, and we try to be like, Dom, what do you love doing? What can we help you out with? So I love that you guys are thinking about that in the content creator space where a lot of people are spending time.
Well, Dom, give me your take on the names though. Give me your raw, honest takes.
I actually really, really like that take or like that name, to be honest with you, because it kind of has like that lore behind it. So like
lore, bro.
It's not just like a simple like name like Christ, like bringing people closer together. Like, what's like a simple name?
The
Christ
disciples.
Creators. Like, if you were to say that, Christ Creators, it's that's kind of like basic, like your name actually has like lore.
It's got some depth to it.
It's crazy you said that. So like what, literally someone sent me that clip of Ninja saying Jesus is king today.
Yeah, I just watched that today.
And I haven't even watched it, so y'all can tell me about it. I'm gonna be doing some stuff with his brother Jonathan soon. He's a great guy who loves the Lord. But so the way that someone sent me the clip this morning. So last night, here's my creative process and prayer process. Last night, I'm like, man, I don't think this name is it. And then we're like, what do we do? We use ChatGPT for like an hour. Me and Taylor, like, we just got to go to bed. I'm talking to my wife about it. I'm like, we're looking up like Latin words, and we're like, man, that's taken. That's lame. That, it's just like, and then I wake up look on Instagram, and this guy sends me this ninja video talking about Jesus. And he says, is Ninja canon now? And I just thought that was such a funny way of putting it. And it sparked me exactly what you said, Dom. I'm like, dude, words like lore, words like canon. What's so funny is they actually all find their origin in the Bible anyway. Like canon actually speaks to like the legitimacy of the Bible. But when we use it commonly. So it's funny you said that, bro, because that's exactly like what and I want the logo to be, I want the branding to look like a football club, like soccer. And I want it to be like a wizard holding a Bible and almost like Gandalf, kind of Dumbledore vibes. But like, is he a wizard? Is he a priest? But kind of like ultimately, like we're here to steward the story of God, but like not tell it differently than how I do when I preach, if that makes sense. Like when I preach, when I have my pastor hat, when I'm preaching at church, I feel like it's my job to like just, man, preach what the Bible says, like teach the Bible, tell God's story. But then I think when we're creating art and content, I think it's our job to do what J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis did, which is tell it in a different way, tell the same story with the same truth, but with different skin on. Like I think Iron Man dying at the end of Marvel is one of the greatest examples of like what Christ did for us ever. Like it might actually tell a better story of what Jesus did for us on the cross than the Passion of the Christ or the Chosen, because it contextualized it and brought it to a way bigger audience in a way that meant more to a modern audience. And now I can use that lore of Iron Man to help contextualize what Jesus did for us and why he did it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about like, I know you guys are working on getting this thing started, but what does the goal process look like? Where do you hope to see this in a couple years or even in 1 year? Or what are ways to get, like, if there are some people listening that want to be involved? I know you're not quite yet at that place, but we'd just love to like hear some of that process as well.
Yeah, so we will be soon. I'm actually teaming up with a buddy of mine, Josh Wood, who is like a nonprofit expert. He used to run all outreach stuff here at Elevation. And it's just a super smart dude. Oh, there's a trap in this ceiling. I almost died.
I got you.
They baited us. I have like 2 bandies. I need white heels. But there's a sniper, so we'll hit some clips. So yeah, he's helping me with all the smart guy stuff, and we're formulating it legally and everything like that. But really, we just want to be a platform where if a church is like, dude, I don't know what to do on how to make a difference in the internet, but we want to be like, hey, we'll partner with you. Either you resource one of our projects, you send one of your young people to one of our camps. Like eventually we'll have like oh my gosh, we're getting keyed. Oh my gosh.
Whoa, I did not do that.
I'm pushing back inside. I'm like 7 health. We are getting absolutely freaking W keyed by a pickle. Dom,
you just building? What are you doing?
I have 7 health, dude.
Can't show me the way.
Oh my gosh, dude, this pickle is insane. We just have to team up on this kid. They're not like really good. They just got the jump on us on like low key.
Yeah, I'm kind of playing.
We got one down.
Yeah.
Oh, he got in his build. We need to play no builds next time so I can carry. I can't carry in builds, dude.
Hey, I second that.
Builds, but I'm playing like buns right now. I mean, I haven't played Fortnite.
You're gonna play it on the Xbox or what?
Yeah, he's gonna blame it on the Xbox, dude.
I'll blame it on everything else except for me.
Let's do no builds. We'll carry. Is this our random fill? Daspy?
Yeah, that's our
60 FPS.
Hey, Mike, your sub is doing great.
I'm downloaded. I'm in.
We'll get you
let's go.
Yeah,
let's leave this guy. He's not gonna bring us back. He's not gonna.
And I'm not gonna help you. Just so you know.
Dom, are you party leader?
Oh yeah, I'm party leader. Yeah, I'll go back to
Dude,
Levis and
I just got the most like soul crushing notification on my Apple Watch. Coco Melon is performing April 26th in my area. I just hate that that's like when I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids, dude. I just hate. I both love and hate that that's my life. And you know, we need better Coco Melon, dude. Like these, we need
Danny
Jesus
Go,
Coco
John.
Melon. You know, Danny Go. No, you're right. Danny Go is. But Coco Melon hits a level of brain rot that Danny Go doesn't quite yet with the animation and like
Dude,
Coco Melon
I
is
can't
such
do
good
it.
brain rot that it's actual brain rot, and people say your kids
Exactly.
shouldn't watch it. It's crazy.
It has no place in my
wow,
house.
man.
Zero bill. There we go. That's what we need. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So we'll have a website where people can donate and just donate. And then we'll have like services we provide. So we're going to do courses, coaching, and camps for like Gen Alpha creators. We'll do things where we come out to churches and kind of partner with them on that. And ultimately, like once a person kind of tries out, if you will, we'll have a process to say, oh, now you kind of qualify for our funding. So what you'll see on our website is it'll start to populate and it'll be like, you know, hey, this content creator out of Colorado, you know, like here's what they do and here's the church they're a part of and here's their YouTube. So give to them, you know, like give to Manna to give to them. And kind of in that way, like Manna will be like supernatural sustenance for these creators. We're like, what could you do if you had resource? You know, we want to resource content creators. And, you know, a lot of the lore around like Silicon Valley, Steve Jobs and, you know, up in Washington with like a Bill Gates and some of these guys is, you know, even with Zuckerberg and Facebook is so much of what they were able to do was based off of who they were around and the resources.
Sure.
And so we're like, we want to help use the resources of the kingdom of God to help make sure some of this creativity, this ingenuity actually reaches the people and has the resources they need, you know, to do it. And so that's what we'll do. Taylor and I, some of our first projects will be, we're going to start a church in GTA 6. And so if you're looking to, if your parents and your pastors allow you to play Grand Theft Auto, we will have a church for you. Right now, our current church name is Vice City Church of God. And, we'll be creating content around that GTA 6 church. My Fortnite Bible podcast will fall under Manna, where it's like 10 to 20 minute clips of videos of me playing Fortnite, kind of like this, but like talking about a certain subject of the Bible from chat. So like my first one will be, can Christians smoke weed? Another one will be like, am I really saved? You know, how to date, and really just like taking conversations I have with people in my Twitch chat, or just people that I meet when I speak and going like, hey, like while I'm playing Fortnite, we're going to answer these questions. So that's a lot of what our projects will look like. One of the things too, let me say this last thing, because I know I'm throwing on a lot, is that we also want to work with churches. This is kind of one of the new ideas that literally just came, is to help them launch creator clubs at local schools. So churches are always looking a way to serve schools. Students are always looking for a way to be empowered. And we're like, hey, there's great people who do sports stuff, people who do Bible studies. We want to like help them launch creator clubs that might be a way to train up people or reach people at their schools.
That's awesome.
Stingray, ready up.
Dude, let's go. Kretz, what's it on a PlayStation? Octagon or something? What's the
Triangle. I'm good to go, man.
PlayStation's on
That's
top.
awesome.
What can I say?
Dude, John, we're excited for you. That's some cool stuff, and I think it's really needed. Really needed. All right, John, I'm sending you something. This is a new bit we're gonna start, and if you're mad about this, you taught me it, so you can only be mad at yourself. All right, but we wanted to make a Fortnite character for any of our guests that we're going to have on in 2025, and so that's your character. So enjoy it as much as you want, or hate it as much as you want.
It's pretty sick if you ask me.
Why did it make me a robot?
It's a good skin, man.
Is it because is it because I have short hair and people say I'm bald? In that, I like the Star Wars connotation.
Yeah, there's a little Star Wars vibe there. I don't know. You can take it one of two ways. You're a machine, you're grinding, you're making things happen, or you've been taken over and you need to meet Jesus. It's up to you how you want to take that.
I'll take it either way.
And
like it.
It's on brand with your W key.
I just got that
And the
yadded
logo.
too. Did you see that?
I did. That looks sick.
Kids, don't get
Add it.
tattoos until you're 25. Tattoos are lame.
Dude, tell people the story
Tattoos are
behind
stupid.
W key.
Yeah, so I mean, I also have a couple I made like W keys. Oh, you can't see here. I'll do this for the pod. Oh,
Make some caps.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
There you
so
Nice.
my middle initial is W, and when Fortnite really, I think I'm almost positive. Most people say, talking about the lore, that Fortnite is what popularized the term like W key. Like I'm just gonna W key this kid. I'm gonna key this kid. And it just means like just go full aggro, go full on. And not only is my last name Rush, but that's a lot of how I do life and everything is like I just W key life. And so and it also is the forward button. And so like to me it not only represents my personality, but represents what I want to help people do is like press W on their life and move forward with God and we win these W's, man. W's in chat.
Oh,
W's in chat.
go.
It's a lot. It's so
in
rich.
chat.
W's in chat. And my son's name is William, so it also has a quad
Nice.
meaning for my boy
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah.
All right. You know what this means then? It's a WQ. Everyone we see. Everyone.
Hey, if we're in
We'll go back to
zero
never
if we're in zero builds, I can do that.
I'm really, really bad at zero builds. I can't lie with you.
That's why you like build, huh? Hide
Yeah,
behind
I'm
the
kind of
builds.
scared of it now.
Nah, you'll
Yeah,
be
I like
alright,
to
dude.
builds. I was already cranking 90s before the stream. I can't lie.
Let's go.
Do it. What do we? We just did a post about camp that said if you aren't figuring out ways to like challenge yourself, what are you doing, Dom? This is good for you.
Dang. It's
Come
so
on.
true. So true.
It's alright. I
Words
got
to live
yeah.
by. John, I want to switch gears kind of a lot just because you mentioned your son, but I would love just to hear. I felt like from a distance, kind of watching you guys when he was born, it was a pretty rough go for him at the start. Am I remembering that right? Like 3
Yeah.
weeks in, he had to be hospitalized, and
Yeah, it was like 13 days. We took him to the hospital and we were fortunate that our first two girls just didn't have any complications, really, you know. I know for a lot of people that, man, having a child is crazy, you know. Like women literally risk their lives to have kids. It's just facts, you know.
Yeah.
And and so our son just had like a skin thing, and there's a red pickle on me. 41 blue, got him. Our son, he just had like a skin rash thing, which like if you have kids, like it's pretty normal. And so we just took him in, just thinking like, oh man, it's nothing. And
One out here.
basically they were like, yeah, no, he's gonna die. And we're like, what? And they were like, hey, we don't know what this is. You need to go to the emergency room right away. And for like 24 hours, probably a little bit more than that, they were like, we don't know what this is. We have to call the infectious disease doctor. Here's Medis for someone. And until they figured out what it was. And then once they figured out what it was, they at least could treat it. And he had this condition called scalding skin, staph. Some of y'all have heard of staph infection, and y'all wrestlers, y'all nasty. I wrestled, so staph infection, and it was a scalding skin. Sniper right here, and nades. Scalding skin, and it basically just like the main thing that it does is it secretes like literal acid from your pores and melts your skin. And so he was like a burn victim, like low key. And so we had to go watch him go through a lot of pain, and then they were like, yeah, man, God, like you're gonna have to be in the hospital for like 3 weeks. And by the end of it, we ended up getting to leave the hospital, I think in less than 10 days. So glory be to God. And and he has no, contributing illness and stuff like that. Person by the 105 blue on the vending machine, person 45. So it's all good.
yeah.
White.
I would love to hear. I mean, that is I think that's a pretty intense moment, and I just know a lot of students right now, and people are just having they're going through a lot of loss. So I'm just curious of what maybe in that season did you learn about Jesus, or what was super challenging that you really had to lean into? I'm just thinking of a lot of friends who are going through some things right now.
Yeah, well, I think, when someone is going through something hard, the worst thing to tell them is, don't worry, we'll see them in heaven. Like if your baby dies, don't worry, you'll see him in heaven. You're like, what the frick, dude? It's like sometimes some of the best Christian advice is terrible in the moment. However, I'm thankful that while I wasn't in an emergency, I was building up a worldview that taught me about an eternal God, because I think it's important. While I don't think that's great advice to tell someone in the midst of struggle, I think it's something that I really leaned on. Is just knowing like, oh, we need to reboot our boy. I didn't know you were down.
Forget about Dom.
Yeah, Dom, we got you. And so, I was like, I just, not only is God my friend, and I wear Jesus t-shirts, and I go to youth group, and I'm like, no, dude, he's King of Kings, Lord of Lords, and I trust him. And even in the ups and downs of like in the craziness, and like, you really don't know panic until you have kids and one of your kids is really sick or hurt. It's just like, there's nothing like it. But I just was like, my wife and I are like, hey, we trust God, and he's one way or another, he's going to come through. And we just really just set our faith. I think one of the best things I've heard on like faith is like, pray like it's going to happen. And if it doesn't, trust God anyway. But I think sometimes we like pray these prayers. We're like, God, if it's your will, heal my son. God, if it's maybe you'll do it. And I'm just like, I heard a preacher say, Jude Fuquay Sr., if y'all want to look up a older preacher who's goated. He just said once, he's like, I don't want someone who prays, if it's your will, Lord, in my hospital room. I want that word of faith. I want someone who believes it, even if it seems foolish, And so, man, obviously I knew intellectually he might pass away or something bad might happen. But with my faith, I was saying he's healed in Jesus' name. It's going to be okay. It's going to happen. And obviously on the other side of that disappointment, God doesn't answer every prayer, or he doesn't answer them in the way that we think. And so if that's you, I think you do need to wrestle with, okay, so what does that look like and why? But I think while you're in the moment, I think you just need to believe God for big things and just really just hold it down.
It's good. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah, I just remember watching that moment with like, this is, I was feeling for you guys. I have 3 kids of my own, and that is just hard. So thanks for just leaning into that. I know it's going to help someone today. So, Dom, you got any questions?
Are we fighting? Are we fighting?
That's pretty good, I can't lie. Yeah, we're fighting a little bit.
You gotta call out, guys.
My aim is still buns.
We got a full team on us.
Listen, this is why a lot of you guys keep falling back into sin, is because when you're under fire, you don't call out to your teammates.
Hit for 105.
Y'all only talk to church people when you go to church, but you need to text them when you're going through it. 105 blue on the bald guy, on the bald-headed dude, rocketing the rock. Push that.
26 white.
Dude, I'm just doing a crazy play here at the beginner.
Oh, yeah, there's only two. There's only two. Only two. Yeah, easy. That guy's whited. I'm pushing. Nice. I don't know where their teammates are though, but they're real. Pick up that
pick up all these things.
That grappler. Gotta get our boy back. Gotta get our boy back again.
We can do it.
Yeah, I'll play like
I'll
Buzzer.
do it because I got, I'm not the most skilled.
That's all right, bro. That's what we do, man. See, that's why we're a part of youth group. Is because when someone falls, we pick them back up. We don't complain about it. We're just there for them, We're just there for them.
Come on.
Preach.
Just there for them. I'm so grateful that Jesus didn't complain when he had to pick up my reboot card. He walked to that reboot van knowing he was going to get shot at, knowing the zone was pushing, but he clicked E anyway. He tapped X to bring me back. Man, I'm thankful for that kind of Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go. Amen.
And Dom's back.
And Dom's back.
We do a thing called the Instagram poll, where we
Great.
That's what it is. We pull people. And we want to know your take, but here's what the question was. What is, or who was, the worst Star Wars character? We put
Rey.
in Jar Jar,
Rey.
Rey, young
Rey.
Anakin, or other.
Rey. Rey's the worst Star Wars character that's ever been
Going
invented.
to Rey, huh? Why Rey?
Yeah. Because she breaks all the rules of storytelling and the pre-existing rules of origin stories within Star Wars. So she starts out as this person we're supposed to feel bad for, origin story. She's down and out in the desert. Great. Love all that. Just like Luke, just like Anakin. But then immediately she's just good at everything. And she doesn't really go through any hard times. She just wins at everything. And I think she's a really unrelatable character. I think Daisy Ridley's great. I think she could have been good. And I think what I saw them do with writing of Rey is her greatness came at the diminishment of other characters' greatness. Whereas as great as Luke became, it never like overshadowed Han. Like Han did stuff that only Han could do. Luke did stuff that only Luke could do. And in my opinion, it was all about Rey. Like they didn't even really end up making Finn a Jedi. Like why? Like is Rey's arc so threatened that like Finn can't also be a Jedi? How would you explain the only stormtrooper that we know of that got woken up from the kind of like brainwash that they are, other than a Force sensitivity? Oh, I don't know. Maybe in episode 7, which is literally called The Force Awakens, and one of the first shots we see is a stormtrooper getting shook from his brainwashment. Oh, but no, let's just make Finn some dude because we got to make sure Rey, and in storytelling terms, they call it a Pollyanna, based off of like a 1940s film where this character Pollyanna like was just too perfect, too nice, never went through anything hard. So you can miss me with that, Rey. Get out of here. But I'm open to other people's critiques.
There. I didn't even consider Rey. I just thought maybe, it was bad writing or something, which it is. But the point that you make about just all the details of her character makes a ton of sense. Don, who would you say? I don't even know if you watch Star Wars, Don.
I do not watch Star Wars. Rey is one of the only characters I know. And Darth Vader.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah, never predicted it. Mike, you got any thoughts, Mike?
I mean, don't people generally say Jar Jar Binks?
Yeah, generally they've said Jar Jar Binks, but he's a side character that was made to be a meme. Like they made him to be an animated rabbit. Like they did that at least. Now, granted, was the deployment of Jar Jar cringe? Yeah, but did it overshadow everything? Not so much. The most egregious Jar Jar Binks moment is when Padme's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna leave as the representative for what looks like a really powerful planet, Senator Binks," and you're like, "No, no, no, no! Who made this guy a government official? Like, what are we talking about here?" So
that was so great.
But yeah, I wouldn't defend him as a good character. I would just say that he's not as bad of a character as Rey. IMO.
Yeah.
IMO.
Dude, they had such a cool opportunity they could have done with Finn. With him being
totally,
the only turned stormtrooper we had seen to date. Man.
Oh, totally. Yeah, or even like I didn't understand why when Kylo Ren turned good, why'd you have to kill him? Like, why? Like, it just seemed like everywhere Rey went, people, instead of getting better or raising up heroes around her, they just had to die. Like, she's this weird solo force, no character in Star Wars, and really no character in Marvel either, is just like this solo dolo force. It's just like, there's just something weird with how they wrote her. So I guess, like, if she was a real person, I can't blame her, but but she's not a real person. She's a mechanism of the way they wrote her, so I blame them.
Yeah. Dude, if you get bored one of these days, you should, or any of you guys should look up. There is how Star Wars The Last Jedi should have ended, by how it should have ended. I can put a link there, but it is so good. Of like, they completely rewrote the last trilogy, and
Amen.
flipped it on its head, and it is really good.
Dom, what is your thing, bro?
What is what?
Dom, what's your favorite lore? Like, what are you into, bro? You an anime guy? You a One Piece guy?
Marvel and Invincible recently.
Oh, dude, I've been meaning to watch Invincible. It looks really dope.
You
I really
should.
like.
So good. It's
Strong
so
themes of
Invincible.
fatherhood. It's the one where it's like the father and son. He's like in like the blue and yellow, kind of like old school looking superhero suit.
Captain something.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
name's Captain. Captain.
Captain.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime if you guys would want to look into it. It's animation, but it's pretty gory. I can't lie, but it's
Oh
really,
yeah, it
really
is.
good.
It is. If you're like a kid,
intense, right?
talk to your
Right.
parents about it first. Yeah.
It's really good.
What's your Marvel vibe, Dom?
I actually have been watching Marvel since I was little. I remember whenever I was little, I used to get scared from like looking at the Hulk. It was bad. It was bad.
Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
Team Captain for sure.
Dang, bro, such an L, bro.
What's
Such
a
a-
L? It's a hot
Such an
take,
L,
but
bro.
It has to do it.
I don't even think it's
The
that
only
hot. I think most people are Captain America simps. That's what I think most people are.
Actually,
I think most people I know. Let's switch states, bro. You come up where I am and live around the Captain America simps. I want to be near Iron Man people.
let's go. I'll do that. He's just like Captain America does not have to hide behind a suit. Yeah, he took like Shiro, but like he has a bunch of soldiers on his side, like people that are willing to fight, and he believes in God. If you look at one of the first Captain America movies, they're talking about how
We got a team on us. Yeah. Get to my builds.
Literally stuck in this water right now.
Get to my builds if you can. I have
I'm scared.
Yeah, get over here. If we beat this team, I think we win. I think this is like, oh, you down one, Dom? Good job. Yeah.
Dom,
Here,
you
I'm
can
gonna
do
rocket
that.
behind this tree. Oh yeah, gonna hit
Nice.
big.
Bring the tree
110
on,
on
bring
both.
the
110 on both. 110 on both. I'm about to knock them. They all have no shields.
I know they're all low.
Nice.
Got three.
Here.
Oh my gosh, the freaking the bullet spread on OG is insane.
Oh, no.
We're about to knock all of them.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go.
team
Let's go. Loot up.
Let's go.
No, I mean, let me get that purple sniper, poor favor.
I'm not good enough to be able
No,
to do that.
I mean, you know, the older I get, the more I'm like, man, Cap's valid. And I think to my point is like Marvel really shows you that like Captain America and Iron Man need each other. That's good storytelling. That's helpful.
Yeah.
I think Rey is like, no, I don't need anyone. Kill Han Solo, kill Luke Skywalker, kill Leia. Chewbacca is now an idiot. I don't need Finn. I can just do it all myself. And you're like, oh, okay. See, with what I'm doing, what's funny is a biblical worldview does not just come from how much you know about the Bible. It comes from the mythology you believe from your culture. And so we don't have Greek gods. We don't have that. Our mythology is our stories. And so we need to, as Christians, really ask ourselves. I'm not saying every time you go to the movies, you need to be like, what's the biblical lesson? I don't do that every time I play something. But I think that a part of your walk with Christ should be to go like, hey, is Invincible or Taylor Swift, are they passing down Christian themes or cultural themes? Even political stuff. Don't just assume that because a politician says they're Christian, that what they're talking about actually lines up with the word of God. You got to test that stuff. And because at the end of the day, what's underneath your worldview, there's only one person left. Should we pickaxe?
Let's pickaxe them.
Yeah. Pickaxe for the
lower
memes,
than
for the
that,
content, for the
let's
pod.
Do it.
For the pod. But yeah, so I actually think that there's a lot, like even like Dom pointing out, he's like, yeah, man, in this one episode, Cap's a Christian, and I like that he does this. And I think that's really good. What you see about the world comes from what you believe, and we read more than the Bible. We read stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes me think of Terry Parkman, where he often talks about how do you take a cultural moment and look at it through a biblical lens.
Yeah,
which
so,
isn't
so
always
great.
just putting like scripture all over it. It's just like I'm including Jesus as I process through these things.
Yep.
Oh, that's a trap that just got me in there.
Yeah, this whole house is trapped. Yeah, there's a trap in front of here. I wonder if this whoever's alive is just trying to like, you know, just hide.
Just
Wow,
trap
so
out
many
the house.
traps.
There he is. There he is.
Wait.
I'm rushing.
I was like, I'm
Let's
down.
go! I just hit the nastiest quick scope on him. Put that on the pod. Sorry, we went to pickaxe, but he down to the boys. I had to hit the
I
quick
would be the
scope.
sacrificial lamb all day. All day. That gets us a dub.
That's great. So good. Oh man. Oh, that was a good win. Just so you know, we never got any win with Preacher Guy.
Actually,
So
I'm probably giving you
He's
bot
trash.
lobbies because I'm a level 1.
no bot. No
Preacher
bots
guy plays with like his
traps that.
sons. The most bot lobbies in the entire world.
I love that deal though, where he sets a goal for his sons, and if his sons hit it, you know, buys them something. It's a cool kind of father-son deal. I'm trying to see. Mike, do you have any questions that you're sitting on that we haven't chatted about?
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, when you
Mike,
look
you gotta
at the
repeat
next, when you're looking at the next couple of years, John, what do you think is? What do you think some of the biggest things are going to be as far as Christian entertainment goes? Like, if you had a crystal ball, what's your guess?
Well, I think the distinction between Christian content and non-Christian content is going to get deeper. Meaning, like, I feel like there's a lot of people that that instead of being like, yo, I'm a Fortnite player, I'm a creator, I just happen to also be a Christian and I don't talk about it. I think that's going to be less common because I think that, I don't know, as much as maybe you could say that like parts of the world are more anti-Christian, I think they're still pro-belief and pro-spirituality. And so I think what's going to be more common is like, you know, it's kind of like the whole like, you know, I used to make fun of Tim Tebow all the time, right? Because he's like, John 3:16, you know, and I think what I would have said like 5 years ago is like, no, we just need Steph Curry, who's like, he's just good. But now I kind of feel differently, you know. I'm like, you know, I feel like we need more Christian content creators that are a little bit more vocal about their beliefs and articulate about it. I'm not saying, again, if you're dude perfect, you have to be like, I'm going to hit this shot for God. But I just think that, like, I don't know. And I know for Christian content creators that's a lot of pressure. And it doesn't always mean that you have to use your platform, you know, or every channel to like talk about faith stuff. But I just think that we just, my hope is that it just gets more obvious, you know, who's kind of like living for Jesus and who's not, versus like, I think that guy's Christian maybe because he wears like, you know, I'm like, dude, Patrick Mahomes, bro, like, don't write a psalm on your wrist, bro. No one cares. Like that, like, I'm sorry, that's just not pulling. Yeah, and again, this might be a hot take, but I'm like, that's not pulling anyone out of hell. That's not pulling anyone out of suicide. Like Psalm 28, yeah, like. Why not just talk about it? Like, if you're going to write it, and I think even what we see what's happening more in the college space, a lot of up-and-coming college players are a lot more like these Ohio State guys. Like, I think there's just a way to be more public with your faith without being weird. I don't know, you know, like.
I mean, you
like,
saw that giant revival with like those football players. You see those public baptisms. You see those guys coming out and owning it a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's what I hope. You know, I think. Because I think we've lived in the last few years in our country with the assumption, oh, everyone knows the Bible. Like, well, everyone already knows, you know, so why talk about it? But I'm like, no, literally, you know, in the same way where Dom's like, I don't know Star Wars, you know, we're going to have more and more of a culture in America and in the world where people just don't know. So we got to tell them, you know?
Yep.
And we don't got to, again, we don't got to be weird about it. We just, I think my hope is that we can just see people be a little bit more on it.
yeah. And I
don't know what y'all think about that.
You mean too. Because like you already talked to like Kai Cenat, so I'm pretty sure you already seen like what Kai Cenat does, like where he, like someone in his chat one day asked him to pray for them, and he just said a simple prayer. Like that goes a long way to like plant that seed in people's lives, that whether just like not say nothing about it, you know.
Absolutely, 100%. And I'm like, some people might judge him. He's like, is he even a Christian? Is he even? Well, I'm like, bro, he's trying. And I think, I'm like, hey, I want Kai Cenat to be in a church, and like I want him to have that community. Not because I think I'm better than him or because I judge him. I'm just saying I think we're all better when we're learning and we're in a community, And I think for a lot of pastors, like that's even like the heart of what we're doing with Mana. Oh my hot dude, that was a crazy shot. These guys are low right here, but they're pretty good.
They're pretty good. No.
My hope is that pastors realize like they're not the content creators. Like the people in their churches are the content creators, and pastors don't need to like put the camera on themselves. I hope that the next generation of pastors realizes like, yeah, I might have a podcast, I might post preaching clips, I might do these things, but I'm here to put the shine on people. Like I'm here to equip the saints to do ministry, instead of making it all about me. As great as Billy Graham was, and as much as God did through him, just being real, like in a platonic sense, obviously taking out the Holy Spirit for a second, Mr. Beast has reached way more people than he has. Joe Rogan has. And I'm like, I'm not saying we don't need Billy Grahams. We do. But I also think that there is a missing piece of saying, man, like, what if we could crack the code of really seeing Christian entertainers really like living for God and doing things at a high level?
Yeah. I love that.
What are some things that you would say to maybe someone who's at the early stages of content creating? Here are my five like ride or die tips that I could give you. You're jumping into content creating, building your brand, that type of deal.
I'll be done.
Are you dead?
Yeah.
I think if you're starting out, I think the number one question is saying like, who do I want to help and how do I want to help them? And you're like, I want to make Minecraft videos. Yeah, I know, but like, how could you help people with that? I don't know if I have time for a full game, boys. Finish this question in the lobby, huh?
Yeah. Let's do it.
And so, yeah, I think just like, I think you should start by saying, who do I want to help and how do I want to help them? Because I think when you really look at all successful content that's not brain rot aggregator content, is it's helping people somehow. Well, how does Mr. Beast help people? Well, in their minds, he's giving them something entertaining to watch. He's giving them something engaging to watch. Kai Cenat brings joy to people. And so I think for Christians and early content creators, we can be very self-focused, but I think the best and most successful content creators and entertainers, obviously they have a view of what they're gifted with and what they feel passionate about, but they also have a real sense of how they're going to help people. And I just have seen that on social media, the content that's others focused actually goes, really far, so you do need to have a high sense of self-confidence, but that would be step 2 to me saying like, how do you want to help people and how has God gifted and graced me to do it, and then go from there. So the who is what type of people at your school, kids like you, kids whose parents got divorced, like kids who are going through depression, or just your everyday kid coming out of football practice and they need to like watch something funny to decompress between AP algebra and learning plays that they don't know, like just when you put yourself in the headspace of your audience and how you can serve them, that's, I think, at the root of the success of so many people. Like, how can I solve problems? So I'd start there. Who and how, and bring God into the mix, bring your parents into the mix. If that works, bring your pastors into the mix. And then I would say the last thing is like, and Mr. B says this a lot, and I think he's right. When you're first starting out, you just got to send it. You got to like post a bunch of stuff and learn and see what works, see what doesn't. Learn yourself and like, don't be scared to be judged. Don't be scared if you get no views. You have to. Mr. B says, his thing is like post 100 videos before you expect any results. And I think that's a pretty good rule of thumb. And what you'll notice is that most people don't even make it past 30, and they probably never had what it took to be a content creator in the first place. Because if you can't get over that hump, you're probably not going to be able to sustain any growth that comes. Because anyone can get a viral video. Getting a viral video is actually not that crazy. But the question is, can you actually build a community and build a platform? Content creation isn't about hitting a couple viral videos. There's a lot of people who have had more viral videos than me, but they have less following than me. But I'm building a community, because that's what really content creation is all about.
Dude, I love that. You boys have any last questions or words for John? You guys
Thanks
got
for coming, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. This is
It's
so
been
fun.
fun.
I can't wait to be there in the summer.
I know it's been fun.
it'll
Two
be
things.
nice.
Speaking of summer, before you go, can you give us your best, 15-second invite to people who need to be at SummerCon, where you're going to be at? I'll give you kind of like, this is your little promo moment. You're going to be there. We'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll kind of
If you're a Christian, I don't know how you can call yourself a Christian if you're going to dedicate more time to vacation, more time to a job, and more time to sports than you would setting aside time to spend with God and the people of God. And so an event like SummerCon is literally how you put into practice and you actually prove that you do value God that much. Because if you're going to go to 2-a-days, if you're going to go on a vacation and create space for getting better at sports, getting closer to your family, SummerCon is that, but for your relationship with God. And something about like being in an environment like that where it's longer than church and you're more engrossed with it than like your average youth night or Sunday, it just hits different. It's where I met Jesus. It's where a lot of my best moments with God were. And if you are someone sent you this and you're not a Christian, I just want to tell you that, a place like SummerCon, it's going to have food. It's going to have fun. It's going to have real people. Like, this is a church that I know are authentic people, and they're going to talk about a higher power that probably can solve a lot of the problems you've been trying to solve through other methods. Like, you might be insecure and you think Axe body spray is going to make you him. It's not, knowing the hymn of hymns is going to actually do that. LOL. But seriously, if you're not a Christian and, you've heard of crystals and you've heard of tarot cards, or maybe you're really into politics, all of those are counterfeit versions of the Jesus, the real power that's going to be present at SummerCon. That's the real God we're going to be talking about. The ultimate creator. And if you want the real deal that's going to help unlock a lot of the best parts of your life, you got to come to SummerCon. W's in chat.
W's in the chat. I love putting you on the spot. Hey, before we go, any best ways that people, we'll put it in the link, but any best ways for people to support you, follow what you're doing, support your upcoming project? What are the best ways for people to connect with you?
Yeah, for sure. Hit me up on IG, John W. Rush, JON W. Rush on Instagram. And then subscribe to the Fortnite Bible podcast on YouTube. We'll probably be on TikTok by the time that you hear this, but those things would be great places to find me on the interwebs. And then whenever GTA 6 comes out, we'll be there in these streets.
10 years from now, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'll be 18, so I can actually play GTA 6.
Let's go.
That's awesome. Dude,
You might be
John, thanks
25, Dom. You never know.
Yeah, it's true. It is very true. John, thanks for joining us today, dude. I know you jumped
Thank
out
you for
of
having me.
you jumped out of class to jump in. So hey,
I jumped out of AP Physics for this, but it's all right.
hey, you asked your parents. You did the right thing.
That's all right. We're all good.
So, John, thanks for being here. Everyone who stayed with us till the end, we love you guys. Jesus loves you. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you guys.